What is up, guys? T5 and Destroyer here, and I'm here with an H1 video. I dropped a Paladins video and I dropped a 20 kill solo game. This is that gameplay, in fact, with some other stuff added on, because this is gonna be, quite kind of a little bit of a lengthy video. I don't know. It won't be like painfully long, but I will be talking for a little bit. I have a list here in front of me of stuff that I want to see in H1Z1, content that I want to see, changes I want to see in the game, and we're going to talk about all that right now. So first of all, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like and put in the comment section what changes you would want to see in H1Z1 PlayStation 4. So I've been playing the game pretty much since the day it dropped. It's been very fun for me, and I've loved H1Z1 ever since it first dropped on PC. So I've been playing this version of it on PlayStation 4, by myself with my friends, and the more I play it, the more things that I see that I would want to change, and more things that I see that need to change. First of all, I'm gonna go right, this isn't even on the list. Weapon balance. The KH, the KH is a very powerful weapon. It is arguably the best assault rifle in the game. That's fine. The KH isn't necessarily overpowered. It's just really good. But the MK46 LMG needs a nerf. I don't know what you're going to do to it, Daybreak. Give it some. First of all, it needs recoil. There should be no weapon with that high of a fire rate hitting that hard with no recoil. I don't care what game it is. Okay? Either it needs recoil, it needs a reduce in fire rate, or a reduce in damage. Maybe you reduce the damage to players and armor and up the damage to vehicles. Maybe the LMG will just be a vehicle destroyer. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't really have anything like that. We do have the EMP grenade, which I love. The EMP grenade is, the first piece of content that was put into this game, and it is a very well thought out item that you can now grab in each game you play of H1Z1. That's amazing, but the LMG needs a nerf. Now to get on to what's actually on the list. An armor system fix. Please. Listen, Daybreak, I understand. You've been working with the PC crowd for a while. The PC is most widely thought out as probably the most hardcore breed of gamers, but that's not necessarily true. I can be an example of that, and there are many people on console that can be an example of very serious about gaming. You watch my videos, I play video games, and I try to play them at the highest level that I can to entertain the people that watch my videos, and sometimes I have to play them seriously for a little bit until I can get good at the game and play at a high level. And this includes your game, Daybreak. So my problem with your game as of right now, or the armor system in your game, is that I feel like you're trying a little bit too hard to keep the worst players alive. I feel like one shot to the head with the M40 sniper rifle should kill someone. I should have died right there. But I didn't. And this guy I shoot in the head should have died right there, but he didn't. I had to whip out the AK and finish him off. So that something needs to be done with that. We shouldn't be, that's what's kind of going on with Fortnite right now. They're catering to the more casual audience and not to the competitive players, and they're adding in things like porta-forts, and they took the jetpack out, but they put that in the game, and none of the comp players liked it, and they didn't listen. None of the more competitive players liked it. So what I'm going to tell you is listen to the people who play your game every single day and that put time and effort into your game and love playing your game every day like I do. People like me, people like King Plays, people like me and him, who he made a video just like this. H1Z1 is great, but he made 2 parts, and he did say something about this. He's saying the same thing that I said, that guys like me and him feel like the people who play the game at a high level get penalized for hitting people in the head with sniper rifles, and even having better aim than the other player because of the armor system, and that shouldn't be a thing. There's nothing wrong with trying to make new players feel better about playing the game. If you want to do that, the next thing after I have something for you. Okay, if you want to make new players feel better, I will tell you how to do that in a second. So the second thing is the crouch fatigue. The crouch fatigue needs to get out of the game. Crouch fatigue is horrible. Okay, we're not playing with the mouse and keyboard, Daybreak. And once again, I understand you don't have much experience with console, so this is your first go at it, and I'm gonna help you here. And King, once again, this is something else that King Plays said. He even said something about the movement, and I also agreed with him, and that will be on this list too. Crouch fatigue doesn't really need to be there. When you're playing with mouse and keyboard, crouch fatigue is a little more powerful, because when you're playing with mouse and keyboard, you can spam your C or your control, and you can very twitchy make sure your mouse crosshair is your crosshair is still on their head while you're doing that. When you're playing with a PlayStation controller, it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. You can't make that precise movements like that. It's just not a thing. It doesn't. It's not possible with a PlayStation controller. You're playing with little sticks. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm telling you is, crouch fatigue needs to get out of the game because it doesn't really have a place here, and it's not really needed. This is what I'm talking about when I say you want to make new players feel better about playing your game. So obviously, the only real competition that in the Battle Royale, at least, you can't really compare Fortnite and H1Z1. They're very different games for very different people. They're just both Battle Royale games. But that's really your only Battle Royale competition on PlayStation 4 right now. And what I got from a lot of people who played the game who hadn't played it before, at my school, and, even some of the people who play it with me now and love to play it like I do, they always say, a lot more people would play this game, and I would like it more, including, people that I play with, if third-person ADS was a thing. Third-person ADS needs to be in the game. A lot of people coming over from Fortnite really feel that very unnatural, clunky feeling of going third person into first person, and I don't really have a problem with the way you have your ADS happening here. It looks fine there, but it feels clunky when you're actually doing it. So if you want to make newer players feel better about playing the game and feel more at home, third person ADS needs to be in the game. If you want to appeal to the mass majority of people, you want to get as many people as possible to play the game, third-person ADS needs to be there. So now we're going to get into the content part, what kind of weapons I want to see. Mostly weapons, though. So first of all, we have one weapon that uses the 45 ACP ammo, and that's the one pistol, the M17. I think we need to do more with the 45 ACP rounds that are in the game, and I think the perfect weapon, probably one of my favorite weapons that has ever came out as a gun in real life, is the Chris Vector. The Chris Vector, the 45 ACP. It's in Rainbow Six Siege. It's been in Call of Duty a bunch of times. It's very recognizable in gaming, and I think it would fit in great on H1Z1. So that's the first weapon or piece of content that I want to see come into the game. The Vector 45 ACP. So the next one, we have a purple 9mm submachine gun, and we have the Hellfire that shoots the 4-6 or the MP7. That's definitely what it is. It's an MP7. But if you want a green SMG, something with a little bit of lower rate of fire, because you think about it, we got two super high rate of fire submachine guns. Maybe we get something in there with a little bit of lower rate of fire in the subclass, but hit a little bit harder. And the perfect weapon for this would be the UMP9. The UMP9, it's very easy to balance. It's just going to have a little bit lower fire rate, but it will hit just a little bit harder than the other two SMGs that are just high fire rate and just, bullet hoses. You know what I'm saying? It'll be the UMP9, if you put into effect the armor system changes that guys like me and King Plays have presented to you, the UMP9 will definitely reward the better player, with the lower fire rate and really having to place your shots very well. Another you have the 44 Magnum in the game, and I feel like another hand cannon wouldn't be bad. So in the green drops, I'm thinking, or in the purple drops, I'm thinking a Desert Eagle. The next thing is a change to one of the weapons. So the Marauder in the game is probably one of my least favorite. Is my least favorite weapon in the game. I know people who do like the Marauder, but I feel like with the Marauder, it's a burst weapon. You know, the ACOG on it kind of looks bad. It looks pretty bad. The ACOG, it's the same ACOG that's on the Scout Rifle, but the Scout Rifle's semi-automatic and doesn't really have much recoil, whereas the Marauder's kind of all over the place with that thing. So what I think you should do, if you want to put a burst rifle into the game, I think you remove the Marauder. You can keep the same kind of statistics, but you just put like an M16 variant in the game with a red dot, because once again, M16 in Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, the M16 was the DLC weapon for Black Ops 3. The M16 is in Fortnite, you know, a variant of the M16. So, very recognizable weapon, and it's going to want to make people use it a little bit more. And I think that should get put into the game instead of the Marauder. The Marauder is not a very good gun, and I feel like it should be taken out and replaced with something that's a little more intuitive, a little more accessible. Another thing that should get put into the game, a iron-sighted AR-15 that you can find on the ground. Yes, the iron-sighted AR-15 should get, you know, put in the game. Like, some type of assault rifle needs to be on the ground, you know what I'm saying, that I can pick up. If I understand what you're saying, Daybreak. Well, if I put the third-person ADS in the game, and then I put the iron-sighted AR-15 in the game, why would you go for the drop to get the green AR-15 when you can just use the white one the whole game in third-person ADS and it'll be the same weapon? I get that. What you're gonna do is you're gonna have third-person ADS, and you're gonna just up the recoil on the iron-sighted AR-15 and lower the recoil on the green AR-15 with the red dot on it to make it a little easier to use, because that's what it would be. One has a red dot, one's got an iron sight. You would, you know, make sure that feeling of being in first person with an iron sight versus first person with a red dot is the same thing, is the same feeling as third person with the iron sight and third person with the red dot. So, next thing, the vehicle spawn should only show for a limited time at the beginning of the game, just because I feel like it just turns into H1Z1 at the end, and you added in the EMP grenade, and that's fine, but you know, it's still just so many vehicles, and that's another reason you just lower the damage for the LMG and just make it hit vehicles extra hard. I just think that a lot of things could be done in this game to make it a little bit better. Another thing, so this is something that I was watching King Play's video, and I was like, I can definitely add on to this, you know, with a video of my own. I'm saying that the original Z1 movement, you know, the original movement that was in, you know, the first build of H1Z1 back in 2015 needs to get put into this version of H1Z1, because, like I said, this version of the movement in H1Z1 has only been put into this game to you know, get rid of crouch spamming and ENAS. If you don't know what ENAS is when you spam your A and your D key and you look side to side really fast with your mouse. Normally, guys like, you can look up compilations of guys like CDN the Third doing this. So now what happens in the movement when to combat those things is that your player will lock up, just like I said with the crouch spam. He'll lock in this one spot, and it feels really bad when you're playing with the controller. Like, it really feels like it should not. It definitely should not be there. And I think it needs to be taken out and replaced with preferably either the original movement or the new movement that they're about to put into the new, you know, into the new update on the PC version.
Yeah, there's more guys,
because with a PS4 controller, you're just not gonna be able to ENAS as well. It's just not gonna work like that. Aim acceleration, they're working on that. You should know what that is. You know, low sensitivity. You got a high sensitivity, it feels low. They can just fix that up really quick. Fog looks terrible. It needs to go. And the dynamic reticle. That needs to get put into the game with the third-person ADS. Third-person ADS, the dynamic reticle instead of this little stupid crosshair that we have. That's dumb. It looks horrible. It's bad. It doesn't do anything. Dynamic reticle needs to be in the game. The last thing that I want. This is the first thing I'm gonna say. This is the only thing I'm gonna say about the sound. I think the combat update, post-combat update, AR-15 sound is kind of dumb. It sounds like a plastic gun. Okay, I don't like it. I think we should use the original AR-15 sound in the PS4 version of H1Z1 to help the game out. So that's really it for today, guys. Peace out. Like, subscribe, and tell me what you think should be an H1Z1 PS4 edition down in the comments.